Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of indiaballer.com. We have created this section for the benefit of those people who are working in boiler operation and maintenance in any power plant or any other utility industries, and specifically those who are the aspiring candidates of BOE certificate examination. Uh, we are trying to bring a lot of resources to this YouTube channel section for the benefit of those people. And you can expect a number of videos in time. So I would suggest that you can think of subscribing to this channel and click on the notification so that whenever we upload a new video for you, you will get the notification immediately. Okay, so in this particular video, I'm going to talk about everything about BOE certificate examination, right? Starting with who needs this certificate, what is the need of this certificate, what is the benefit of getting this certificate. Then I'm going to talk about who is conducting this examination and the examination content outline. That is, what do you expect in this examination? What are the subject areas you need to cover for this examination, those details. And then I'm going to talk about the eligibility criteria, because this is one particular question we get quite frequently, whether we are eligible for this examination or not, right? And finally, I'm going to talk about how to apply for this examination. In future, I'm planning to get some content help also, starting with some tips, important tips, useful tips to answer the theoretical questions, some tips for the numerical questions. Then I'm going to create another video for the drawing questions, the tips for the drawing questions. And finally, since this examination also involves a Viva at the end, so I'm going to give you some useful tips about how to prepare for the Viva examination. We, of course, conduct a complete course for this BOE preparation. It is an online course which you can get from this portal, www.boeonline.in. But yes, apart from that, in this YouTube channel, I'm going to share some very useful part of this course, which will be helpful to all of you. So keep in touch. And to get the benefit, as I already told you, you better subscribe to this channel and click on the notification to get the notification whenever we upload a new video here. Okay, starting with who needs this certificate. Now, if you see the BOE 2011 rule, right? Now, which was published in a gazette, of course, and point number 3 tells you the need of this BOE certified engineers, the competent persons who are BOE certified engineers. This is the detail which was mentioned in that particular rule. So I will give you the crux of it. Basically, any organization who are having a single boiler which is exceeding 1000 square meter area will require a BOE certified engineer to take charge of that boiler. Now, when I say take charge of that boiler, that means the boiler operation has to be under his supervision and he cannot leave the area for more than 2 to 3 hours time, right? By handing over the charge to somebody who is not having a BOE certificate, but having a boiler attendance class 1 certificate. But the limitation is that he cannot leave the location for more than 2 to 3 hours. So that means that in every shift, you must have a BOE certified engineer to take charge of that boiler operation if the heating surface area is exceeding 1000 square meter. But if you do not have a single boiler exceeding 1000 square meter, but you have several other boilers, say 2 or more boilers, which are connected in battery operation, and the total aggregate heating surface area is exceeding 1000 square meter. Now, when I say battery connected in battery, what does it mean? That means that all these boilers are basically supplying the steam to a common header. So that is called a battery of boilers. Now, usually you find in any process industries, even as small as the small textile industries or a small pharmaceutical industries, where they are having 2 or 3 numbers of boilers. Some of them are having a capacity of 7-8 tons per hour, right? And they are usually all connected to the same single header. That means it creates a battery of boiler, and if the aggregate total is exceeding 1,000 square meter, then you will require a BOE certified engineer to take charge of that boiler. Or if you do not have boilers in battery, but individual boilers, so say many separate individual boilers, but these are all situated within a radius of 50 meter, and the total heating surface area is exceeding 1,000 square meter, then again you require a BOE certified engineer to take charge of that boiler system. So that tells you basically any medium scale industries having a utility plant with a couple of boilers, right, with a steam requirement of around 30-35 tons per hour or more, right? They all need a BOE certified engineer to continue the operation, right? So that creates a demand in this industry. In fact, some of the industries like IOCL, for that matter, I know that when they are appointing new engineers, they are specifying the requirement of BOE certificate in their resume, right? And if you are planning to have your career in this steam generating industries, power plant industries, any process industries generating steam, and you are a mechanical engineer taking charge of that operation, right? You will require this certificate. This certificate is nothing but a license of operating boiler. Like you require a license to drive a vehicle. Similarly, in any power and utility industries, if you're operating a boiler, you require a license, right? So that was the need of this certificate. Now, who is conducting this examination? Usually, there are different states of India who are creating an examination board, right? When you create an examination board, that requires certain factors, like there has to be 19 board members and so the boiler, what you call is the director of boiler board of that particular state will be the chairman of that board and all that. Then they're going to conduct the examination. Now, so far, since this rule was come into place in India, so far there are about 15 states who have and are conducting this examination. Some regularly, some are conducting maybe 2-3 once in 2-3 years or something like that, right? For example, Gujarat, then Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh, they are almost regularly every year they are conducting this examination. Nowadays, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka is also almost conducting it every year. But some other states like Assam, they have conducted for the first time in 2023, right? Similarly, there are some other states also who are not conducting it regularly. For example, West Bengal, they have not conducted it for the last 2 years, but before that, they conducted this examination quite frequently. So all this state boiler department, they are conducting this examination. And when you apply for the state, I will of course give a little more detail how to apply for this examination. But when you apply for the state, one specific question we are quite frequently faced, that if I'm a domicile of a particular state, but working in some other states, can I become eligible for that state? So the question is, the domicile is not the factor. Where you are working, in which state you are working, that becomes your state. So if you are working in Karnataka and Karnataka is conducting an examination, you become eligible for this examination. In 2019 and 20, 2019 it started, the written examination was conducted in 2019 and the Viva was taken in 2020. Central Boiler Board has also conducted this examination pan-India. Pan-India means every state, people from every state were eligible to appear for this examination, and the examination centers were also located almost in every state where there is a Boiler Board. So this is what you are looking for if you are an aspiring candidate of BOE certificate examination, right? You should look for all the states who are conducting this examination. Now, coming to the examination content outline. See, there are basically 3 written examinations that you have to first appear. Each of these examinations are normally 100 marks paper, right? And these 3 papers are, 2 of them are consisting basically questions on various theoretical aspects of boiler, various theory questions, as well as various numerical problems, right? Mathematical problems on heat engineering, basically subject. These 2 papers are mostly, in most places, these 2 papers are conducted on a single day, right? Day 1. Of course, there are exceptions, but usually on the same day, on both the hubs, there are 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2 are conducted. And on the next day, they are conducting the engineering drawing, because this examination also involves a subject on engineering drawing. So they are conducting an engineering drawing examination on the second day. And after you successfully, clear these papers, you become eligible for the Viva, which is usually conducted on a later date, sometimes after 7 days, sometimes as long as after 3 months in some cases, right? So it varies. But to become eligible for the Viva, you need to acquire at least 45% marks in any of the subject. That is the minimum passing marks. So 45% marks in any of the subject, but an aggregate average of 50% in all these 3 papers, as well as the Viva also. You have to get a 50% average mark to become eligible for the certificate. So if you are getting 45 in one paper and you score 55 in the other, average comes to 50%, you become eligible. To some people, this may look a little steep, the requirement a little steep, because normally in academics, we are used to get a passing mark of 40%. Here, the passing mark is 50%. But at the same time, you must keep it in mind that this is not an academic examination. So the way the papers are being checked, the examiners, they keep it in mind that these people are working professionals. You become eligible for this examination only you get certain amount of experience as a working professional. So the passing, the mark, giving mark is pretty, I would say, they're pretty lenient in giving a mark, right? So don't worry about that 50% average. It is achievable. We are doing it for such a long period of time. In fact, I think we have started in 2000 giving this coaching for BOE preparatory training, right? And since then, I think more than 6,000 to 7,000 engineers have passed under our guideline. So this is not a very difficult thing, but yes, it's not easy at the same time. Now, if I talk about the subject that is being covered, I told you already that there are certain questions from theory, certain questions from mathematics, and then of course the engineering drawing paper is there. If you see BOE 2011 rule, they have given you the syllabus, I mean the curriculum. But it's not very clear curriculum. It's very difficult to actually understand, okay, what do I need to know to get through this examination? Rather, a better way of assessing what you need to know is take a look at the question papers of various states, those who are conducted on earlier days, right? So if you go through the last 10, 12 years question papers, you're going to get a better idea about what are the subject matter that you need to uh, master to become eligible for this examination. Now, if you see the question papers, you see the types of questions. When I talk about numerical problems, the types of questions which are coming are basically covering the subjects of basics of measurement. Basics of measurement. In basics of measurement, you can say the person should be able to calculate volume, area, uh, energy, force, like that, right? So the basics of physics, physical measurements, you should be pretty confident about. Then properties of steam, the steam properties, calculation of enthalpy, calculation of steam specific volume, and how to read the steam table, all those things are very much required in this examination. Combustion is a very, very important topic, and there are various numerical problems are coming from combustion, how to calculate the minimum air and all that thing. Those details I will give during my next video when I give you the tips for the numerical question answering. Performance and efficiency is ultimately the final numerical calculations which you need to do. Even if you are a practicing engineer, I believe you need to be very proficient in this particular area, how to assess, how to calculate our performance, how to improve our efficiency and all those things. Draft is another topic. Uh, in draft, you may get some numerical problems about the natural draft with chimney and other thing, which are no longer in specifically used in most of the plants. I would not say not absolutely being used. There are various boilers still you can find which are working in natural draft system. So there will be some questions about draft. Some people are asking from condenser. Uh, and strength of material is another area where not too many questions are being asked. In fact, people usually, when they see the subject strength of material, they think that, oh, yeah, we are having a big trouble in front of us because strength of material is very huge. But fortunately, in BOE examination, there are very few specific areas from where the questions are being coming of strength of material, and it's not very difficult. In fact, amongst all these topics, I would suggest strength of material questions are relatively easier. Now, talking about the theory, if I talk about the theory subject covering, is very difficult because they can actually ask you anything and everything remotely connected to boiler, right? Anything. It can be from boiler system, various boiler systems, different types of boilers are in use in the industry, right? There can be a package boiler, there can be a fluidized bed combustion boiler, and of course there could be a pulverized coal-fired boiler. In sugar industries, they're using the bagasse-fired boiler. So they can ask you any questions about those boilers, their mountings, their auxiliaries, different types of furnace, right? Regarding draft, regarding condenser, the theoretical question can come from condensers. Operation and maintenance is definitely there. They can ask you any questions from there, that particular subject. Boiler metallurgy, boiler tube failures, the controls, protections, interlocks, and one very important area from where the theoretical questions are coming are the water chemistry and chemical treatment. Then there can be questions from pollution control norms, and of course, Indian border regulations. So this is just that's the outline of subject I have mentioned. It doesn't mean that only questions are coming from these areas. They can ask you, as I already told you, anything and everything that is even remotely related to boiler and its operation and maintenance and inspection, right? Okay, so these are the subject areas. I'm going to dive a little deeper when I give you the tips for the subject content in my subsequent videos, right? But this time I'm just giving you the outline of this. Okay, so coming to the eligibility criteria. Now, as I told you, this is the typical question I'm getting quite frequently, that I have done such and such academic qualification, working in such and such boiler. Am I eligible for this uh, examination? Okay, so if you go through the BOE 2011 rules, you're going to see they have given very specific criteria about the age, qualification, and experience. So age is not less than 23 years. Normally, if you are a professional completing a degree or diploma and then working for 2-3 years in a plant, so naturally you will be fulfilling this criteria. Talking about the qualification, you need either a degree or a diploma in mechanical or electrical or chemical or power plant engineering or production engineering or instrumentation engineering. Okay, if you have got a degree or diploma in any of this discipline, so far as qualification is concerned, you are eligible for the BOE certificate examination. Sometimes people are working in power plant with nowadays many of the guys are going into that discipline, that is electronics and telecommunications. Now most of the states, they are not accepting this particular qualification, electronics and telecommunication. But again, there are uh, some states like West Bengal where the CIB is more lenient, right? So looking into the experience of that person, they are allowing. So there are exceptions, okay? But these are the general qualification criteria which you require to become eligible for this examination. Now, talking about the experience, you must have minimum of 2 years of experience if you're a degree holder, and at least 5 years of experience if you are a diploma engineer in any of this discipline. Now, when I say 2 years, that means it is the complete 2 years. Uh, uh, as I'm going to tell you that what other documents you require at the time of application. So you require an experience certificate. And when you are getting that certificate, the date of the certificate, your experience should be completing 2 years from your joining date to the date of the experience certificate, right? That tells you that yes, I am become eligible. So if somebody is working in a plant for say less than 2 years, say 1.5 years or something, right? And they are thinking that okay, in 6 months' time, I'm going to become eligible, right? So they need to keep it in mind that after 6 months, when they get the certificate and when they are actually applying for this examination, right from the date of joining to the certificate date is the experience that will be counted. Now, if you have worked in multiple plants, say you have worked in 3-4 organizations, right? It's possible if the cumulative experience is exceeding the eligibility requirement, that is not a problem. Only thing is you have to get a certificate from each of these organizations, and the certificate should be in line or in line with what they need, right? They have got a specific requirement, specific performer of certificate. So you have to get a certificate in that particular performer from each of these organizations, right? And you have to mention during application that yes, my cumulative experience in all these plants are exceeding 2 years, which is a minimum eligibility. And again, how current should be the certificate? Now, if you have taken a certificate from an organization, right? So you have to apply within 3 months of that. The certificate should not be more than the latest certificate. Of course, the previous, wherever you are working, those will be the old certificates, but the latest certificate should not be older than 3 months. Then it will be applicable, or rather you will become eligible for that examination with that certificate, right? Now, this experience again should be as a engineer working in operation and or maintenance of a boiler which is exceeding 1000 square meter certificate, right? Now, when I say boiler, if it's a single boiler exceeding 1000 square meter, fine, you will become eligible. And if it's a battery of boiler, let us say in case of a battery of boiler which is exceeding, the aggregate is exceeding 1000 square meter, then the requirement is at least one of those boilers should have a heating surface area not less than 500 square meter. So that is another requirement that is coming. Okay. One advantage for those people who have done their degree from National Power Training Institute, NPTI, on power plant engineering or have done a postgraduate diploma from NPTI, their experience requirement is 1 year. Instead of 2 years, they will become eligible in 1 year, right? So that is the experience criteria. You must have at least 2 years of experience. If you are a degree engineer working in operation and maintenance of a boiler, which is exceeding the surface area 1000 square meter. If it is a battery of boiler, then the aggregate heating surface area should exceed 1000 square meter with at least one boiler having more than 500 square meter area. And if you are working, if you are having a qualification of a degree in power plant engineering or a postgraduate diploma on power plant engineering from NPTI, then the experience requirement becomes 1 year. Now, I said one more thing. I said operation or maintenance. Yes, it is in a BOE rule. It is specified that either you can work in operation or in maintenance, you'll become eligible for this examination. But actually, from what we know from our experience, that those people who are showing that their experience is only on maintenance, right? They usually don't get this certificate. They will be probably eligible for the examination, but ultimately during Viva they gets cancelled because you see the logic is simple that if you are requiring this certificate, the license for operation of a boiler, right? So if you are requiring the certificate or the license for driving a car, and if you are a good mechanic of the car, you will not be able to, drive the car. So you cannot have the license just by showing that you are a good mechanic doing the car maintenance for the last 10 years. So similarly, here also, you basically require operation and maintenance, or you can have purely operation experience. Then you become eligible and you get to get a chance to clear this examination. Okay. Now, how to apply for this examination? Now, every state who are conducting this examination, they're giving a notification. This notification usually comes in the local newspaper or in the website of that particular labor department, state labor department website will be there. So this notification comes there. Now, if you are a candidate for BOE and looking at an opportunity to apply for this examination, you have to naturally stay in touch with all those peoples who are also going there. And one way or other way, this message, this news comes to you. In our case, whoever are uh, taking the training from us through this online course, right? We definitely get this information beforehand. So we let them know that whenever the state notification is coming. So you have to look out for this notification. And usually nowadays you can apply online, but you have to take care of one thing, that all the required testimonials which is required at the time of application should be available with you beforehand. So you have to take a little extra care for that. That okay, all these testimonial soft copies are available in my PC. The originals are available with me because at the time of examination, you'll have to show those original copies. Now, what testimonials you require? So you require a birth certificate or a school leaving certificate or any authentic certificate which can verify your age. That is the first thing that is required. Then, of course, you require the copy of the academic qualification certificate. Usually, again, let me tell you one thing here, that those who are doing a engineering degree, they get not sometimes the what do you call it, the not the degree certificate, but before that you get I don't sometimes they are giving you mark sheets, or sometimes they're giving you some certificate which tells you yes, you are qualified, but not the original certificate. But in this case, you require the original certificate. So if you have not acquired that, before going for the examination, you have to ensure that you have the original certificate with you. Okay. And of course, you need the experience certificate from the organization you are working with. Apart from that, if you are applying out of state, so you are working in one state and applying for the BOE examination conducted by other state, then you are going to get a require an NOC from the state power department where you are working. Of course, all these details means what certificate you require, what will be the performer of certificate, how to prepare the NOC, all these details are usually been given by that particular state boiler department when they give the notification uh, for this examination. Uh, when I talk about out of state, with other state examinations, let me tell you one more thing, that not all the states are accepting candidates from other state. Yes, there are few states who are declaring in the notification itself, when they notify, that in the notification itself, they are declaring that the other out of state candidates would require an NOC and such, which actually means that yes, they are going to accept out of state candidates as well. Some states like Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, that we have seen from the experience, that these people are usually not allowing the other state candidates. But nowadays, things are changing a little bit, because recently there were certain actions taken, certain initiatives taken by some organizations like IOCL and NTPC and such. So nowadays, these things are becoming more lenient, and nowadays almost every state have to accept the out-of-state candidates. So when you are looking out for the notification, it is not only your state BOE examination, you should also look for the neighboring state where you can, easily go and give this examination. So you should look out for those notification as well, and utilize the opportunity whenever you get. Because, there is no limit of how many times you give this examination. Like somebody asked me, sir, what is the period up to which this certificate is valid? So there is no period. It's a lifelong certificate. Then another question I get, that if I get a certificate from one particular state, is that certificate is valid in other state? So the answer is yes. Any state from India issuing you a certificate is valid in all the states. Only thing is, you have to endorse your certificate. So when you join a plant in some other state, so that particular state boiler department is going to endorse your certificate, and then that certificate will be in force in that state as well, right? So that is one of the advantage. In fact, uh, I know this for a fact that some of the Middle East countries, they are also recognizing this BOE certificate as a certificate of proficiency for the engineer, and certain amount of advantages are given to those people who are carrying this BOE certificate. Apart from the fact that nowadays it is becoming such that any power plant or any utility industry with a capacity of boiler that requires a BOE certified engineers, they are not allowed to operate without them, right? So it is becoming very much required nowadays. Okay, now finally, I'll tell you this thing that, this is everything about the BOE examination. But I'm going to give you a little more here. Uh, I think certain, content support you can expect from me in this particular channel from time to time. I'm going to create, whenever I get some time, I'm going to create some tips and guidelines for the content, that is for the theoretical questions, for the numerical questions. I may deal with certain concepts which are important for the BOE certificate examination, and create certain resource videos for you, which is going to help you for the preparation of the BOE certificate examination. Thank you very much. Looking forward to see you in my next video.